Trucks, I feel, is the best, worst addiction I've ever had and will only have, from being a child and playing in the dirt, and now I'm an adult and I still eat dirt a lot of times. So it's just lifelong passion.
So when I was 6 years old, monster trucks it was like I fell in love when I first saw the first one. These trucks were larger than life.
It's just that instinct that never goes away, and then the bigger it is, the better it is, obviously. So monster trucks are the best form of truck, in my opinion.
As a kid, there was two things we did growing up: roller coasters and monster jam events.
So to be able to drive these scaled down radio control versions of the real thing, it's just almost like you're in the driver's seat, and that's kind of what led me to get my start in Monster Jam.
Started off, I was always a fan of Monster Jam growing up. Then when I really got into RC monster trucks were kind of my favorite genre.
For me, when I heard we're doing a solid axle monster truck, it was finally somewhat of a dream come true. On a more greedy perspective, I was going to be able to work with some of the superstars that I grew up watching. So that to me was going to be fun.
All of those guys are passionate about RC and are guys that we kind of got to work with in different ways to make this project happen and get their thoughts on it too.
I saw just the concept of what the LMT is, the overall, just the look of it, the feel. It's an unbelievable piece.
I seen the LMT through the whole build process. I was always talking to everybody at Losi and Horizon about everything, like just trying to get every detail I could.
My role was just kind of to critique the design elements, getting that scale feel. I think it looks great. The final product is outstanding.
The detail, the amount of things that went into it that were not necessary, just because it looked better or we liked it.
I wanted the shock to be mounted to the axle because I wanted it to look like a real monster truck. And there was lots of trucks that I think may have worked better with the shock mounted to the 4-link bar, but they just didn't move or react the way that I wanted the truck to look, because to me it didn't have that true monster truck feel.
The goal was the best solid axle monster truck out of the box. You know, if someone's building a custom built monster truck, you could spend upwards of $1,500 on it. What we wanted to have was a race competitive monster truck right out of the box that was a fraction of the price, so it could appeal to the masses and get more people introduced to solid axle monster trucks.
Challenges in creating a scale monster truck. I mean, it took countless hours and long nights and months and months and months of development trying to get the suspension package and things to work on the LMT while keeping it durable.
To first see the design concept and having a sideways engine and transmission.
The motor being sideways, like, man, I don't know. You know, I get the reasoning behind it, but how important is it? It is, and you don't notice it until you turn that sucker loose.
And the first time I drove it, I absolutely understood why. This thing stayed planted. It didn't want to be all over the place. It was, honestly, for as fast as it was, and being a solid axle truck, it was easy to drive.
I watched lots of YouTube video of guys building their race trucks, and those things were rad, and they looked just like touring cars. They were fast, they were agile, they handled, but they never moved to me like a real monster truck. Like, you didn't see that weight transfer. You see the front end dip or the rear end dip. So that was really important to me, to have that aspirational aspect in the LMT so that you would give you that overall monster truck experience.
It's the closest feeling to a full-scale monster truck. From the way it moves, from the way it reacts.
Straight out of the box, this is the only RC solid axle monster truck that I know of that can handle 3S right out of the box. And when you pair that kind of power with the handling capabilities of this truck, it's just a whole lot of fun. I mean, my 7-year-old son has a blast with his, and it's just a true testament to how well the truck handles and the durability of it. I mean, the abuse it takes. 7-year-old, he doesn't care. He's just gonna go out there and have fun and full throttle. You know, I know that's how I was when I first started in this hobby.
The handling was unbelievable. I have 2 kids, you know, should they be driving hobby grade trucks? Probably not, but they are. And these things, it was like a godsend to me, because now I don't have to work on these things as much. It was my biggest deal, and they were unbelievable.
I got to feel how much horsepower it had. It was just insane. Like, if you scaled that up into a Monster Jam truck, tires would explode. It wouldn't last one whole shot. It would have to be 30,000 horsepower probably. I mean, it's just insanity.
Choosing the Digger series as the subject matter for these trucks was a no-brainer. I mean, when you think about monster trucks and you think about Monster Jam, you think about Grave Digger, you think about Son-Uva Digger, and that was really wise. We wanted to go with the iconic monster trucks that people know and recognize around the world.
And people that know the Andersons and know Dennis's story, I think that's why it just made sense. We're the most passionate when it comes to RC. He's the most passionate when it comes to monster truck. If you link those two together, you can't fail.
I feel it's one of the most awesome reveal videos, not just because we did it, so we had a limited amount of trucks to shoot this with.
Because if we broke it, we were just out of luck. I mean, we had to wait for another one to get built.
And I'm like, man, we should probably kind of take it easy on these things, let's save them.
I literally did knock over stuff in the dungeon, not on purpose.
So we make sure we get an awesome video. And we did a little bit, and then when it got towards the end, or like the last day for shooting, and we just let them rip.
That is one of the most astonishing things to me about that LMT is the harder you drive it, the better it works. And we realized that really quick, and we couldn't believe it. We kept going, we killed every battery pack we had.
It was even better. I wish we would have started driving that hard from the beginning because it would have been that much better.
Everything about the truck just speaks scale realism, and I think it's the best solid axle RC monster truck to ever come out on the market.
You know, seeing that this was a 2-year plus idea to fruition was really fun to be a part of, and it's one of those things at the beginning you're like, man, I can't wait until this comes out, and then fast forward 2 years and it's out there and you're like, I can't believe we pulled this off, and it exceeded our own expectations of what we thought it could be.
They were easier to drive, the tunability on them, you know, and I haven't even broke into all of that because I haven't even legit raced one. We've just been bashing these things like they are meant to be, and for a solid axle truck, I don't think you can get much better.
Thing that would make this Losi Monster Jam truck better, and that is if it had a different body.